Hello, one. Hello, all. Welcome to a special Luke and CP get together to talk about Star Wars. Doesn't really sound very special when you put it that way. Rogue One is out. It's out on Blu-ray, and of course, the first thing I thought of was, oh, this is probably the first time we could actually do some sort of commentary. And who else to ask but Luke of RazorwireReviews? Luke.
Yeah, I thought it's interesting that you asked me to do it because obviously I'm not really into this that much. So to get a different perspective, I think would be cool. I mean, you being the Star Wars geek kind of nerdlinger that you are, and me being the relative newbie to the franchise, I thought that's quite an interesting concept. Yeah, to get yeah, obviously I'm just the huge Star Wars fan that I am. So fuck it, let's just do it. Let's just flap our gums about Star Wars for another 2 hours.
Yeah, well, not to, well. You brought up being a newbie in jest, but I recently had a Star Wars virgin of sorts on a recent stream. Emily over at Emily's Adventures in Horrorland has not seen any of the Star Wars movies, any of them in full. I think she said something about seeing parts of Episode 1, which of anything, like that's the one you've seen parts of.
I don't know if I'm jealous because like she gets to experience all them for the first thing. Again, she might not like them, but at the same time, I'd feel like, oh, so much lost time, because the amount of joy I've gotten out of these films is unmeasurable.
So yeah, there is a bit of an interesting theory, which certainly there's no one theory that everybody agrees on. I thought it would be unique to watch Rogue One first, and then Episode 4, 5, 6, and then that's where you get crazy. Do you want to do 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7?
Or do you want to do the machete order? There's all these online kind of fan concocted ways to watch the franchise. Cut out 1 and start with 2, and then watch 4 and then flash back to 3. Like all these different.
What? I've seen some of them. I never heard of the 2, 4, 3.
I was just completely paraphrasing, but there is one where someone says you start at 4. No, you go 4, 5. Luke finds out about Vader, and then you go 1, 2, 3, and have this 6-hour flashback. To kind of set up. Luke finds out he's his father, and then you find out the Darth Vader story, and then you go back to 6 at the end.
Oh, that does make 6 a bit more, huh? That is interesting. I never thought of that. That does make 6 a bit more.
It's one of the more popular orders that have been proposed.
I've never seen that. That's interesting. So anyway, at first, I guess did you not agree with my idea? I mean, it's weird. We're talking about this person's experience of Star Wars like it's some science project. Like, ooh, what should we do first? It's just like.
I said you're drunk when you said it. But mainly because for me, I think going from Rogue One to Episode 4 for someone who watches movies now, they think, oh, Rogue One, it fits in with the films that we see, the Marvel movies, big special effects and stuff, CGI. And then you go to Star Wars and it's completely different. And I don't know, I just worry that someone wouldn't get the charm of it if they go back to it, because that's something I found. I once watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in one go, and 3 to 4 was just such a, even as someone who's watched them all, it was such a hard transition to go from that slick digital kind of look to the more grainy, earthy, practical feeling of 4. But it is an interesting one. I listened to a podcast with a guy who showed his friend Rogue One, his first Star Wars film, and before they went into the cinema, they were sat outside doing the podcast, and he's like, so what do you know about Star Wars? He's like, well, I know that Vader's Luke's dad, and I know that Leia's someone, so he didn't really know that much, and so going into it was really interesting to hear someone's thoughts who just had no real frame of reference for it. But yeah.
Okay. All right. So we have Rogue One loaded. We're going to do our commentary. This is my 3rd time seeing it. Luke?
Yeah, my third. Yeah.
Oh, we have something in common. So I don't know. There's apparently I don't know if there's different versions out there, but ours runs 2 hours, 13 minutes, and 57 seconds. We're just going to start from the fucking start, all zeros. Yeah. If you want to join in, grab your Rogue One Blu-ray. Just as long as it's 2:13:57, we don't have any issues. And whenever you're ready, Luke, do you want to count it down?
Yep, sure. 3, 2, 1, go.
Wait, go on, won't go, or
who cares? We're going. It's on the. It's rolling.
All right, so I gotta make.
It's still strange seeing that long time ago without the fanfare.
Yeah, it is a bit jarring too to have it just slam right into.
Oh yeah.
Just everything. Everything's just, it's different, but it's not. It is, but it isn't.
I remember this shot being so excited in the cinema because my anticipation for this was kind of up and down. Like I was like, oh, this is cool, but then it's not episode 8. You know, there was such a back and forth anticipation for me. But when I was sat down, I remember watching this shot or these shots and just being like, oh, fucking A, new Star Wars. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
This is a gorgeous shot with flying over the beach.
Mm-hmm.
The cinematography is pretty outstanding in this.
Indeed.
Okay, here's something from that podcast. The guy who watched Rogue One for the first time, his first Star Wars film, he said when this scene started, he was like, "Oh, we get to see planets." He just imagined Star Wars taking place entirely in spaceships for some reason. Can you imagine that? Just like
that's funny. It does make sense, though. You would think Star Wars would just be, space. It is pretty funny. Planets, shit. You see all different types of.
Oh yeah.
It's the first time we've seen beach too.
That shot there of the blue milk is a little on the nose. Like it's literally just zooming in, and it's the center of frame, the blue milk. Hey kids, it's the blue milk.
Yeah, I forgot who said it, but somebody said it's like the biggest, greatest fan film in history.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It'd be interesting to kind of go through all of the references and match up The Force Awakens and Rogue One and judge which is the most fan servicey. You know?
Well, I mean, shit.
Certainly a lot in both.
Towards the middle here, we're gonna get a little
Watch
heavy.
yourself.
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking of. Like literally on the nose. Just.
So this is, the first prologue, I guess, we've had in a Star Wars film. And probably the first, if I'm thinking right, the first kind of time jump as well, because the rest of
right, yeah.
10, 15 years after.
You have a whole movie to tell a story. Just tell the next 10 years and the next one. Fuck it.
Well, we should mention the crawl, no crawl, which a lot of people were fine with, a lot of people were mad about, How do you feel about
it? I mean, it's jarring, but if it's not, I mean, like, if they're going to set a precedent and have the saga stuff be, their own thing, then yeah, you got to make some sort of separation somehow.
Yeah, and I think it keeps the saga films more special as well. I mean, it's a small detail, but I think it really does count.
A lot of complaints I've heard about is them parking so far away.
Yeah,
and I mean, you got to tell a story visually sometimes. I mean, guys, let's take it easy.
I love the mood of this whole sequence, like just the weather kind of just makes all the color so dreary and dread-ridden.
It's weird. Ben Mendelsohn actually looks older here than he does in the rest of the movie.
He does, right? I thought that. Yeah, his face looks so haggard. I love his kind of mock,
Yeah, dude. Ben Mendelsohn he's up there for me. Since we lost Philip Seymour Hoffman, and when I think of really, really troubled characters, Ben Mendelsohn's like the first guy I think of, and he doesn't really display it here, but
no,
incredible. He's in that John Cazale line for me.
I mean, you could argue this intro, this prologue, is what the crawl would be, right? Pretty much.
Yeah, very much, yes.
And I think I remember reading someone who was involved in the making of this film saying, well, if you were to have a crawl, I mean, this whole film, Rogue One, comes from one line in the in the crawl of A New Hope, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, how far do you want to go back?
I really dig the way they talk. The
Right. I just love that line. Oh, it's a miracle. Back from the dead.
the Empire. Mads Mikkelsen, Denmark song.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have to say that.
And he's a fucking phenomenal actor.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen The Hunt? Is that what it's called?
No, actually, I haven't.
Oh, fucking man, you got to see that.
Okay.
He's incredible in that film, and it's completely against what I'd come to know him as being, you know, because I think he kind of rose to international.
Casino Royale.
Yeah, Casino Royale, and has been cast as in a lot of villainous roles, but the Hunt is completely removed from that, and really surprised me.
Oh, I want that.
I'm surprised Disney let them get away with calling them Death Troopers. And that's something that's never really been. I guess I like, you know, TIE fighters and stuff like that, but I know that there are some fans who are really big into stormtroopers. Like that's their thing, the Empire stormtroopers, and a lot of people were really jazzed about this when it come to like, oh, there's new versions of the stormtroopers, the Shore Trooper, and all this.
The 501st, yeah. There's a bunch of stormtrooper groups across the world that really get involved.
Yeah, there's a good documentary on the Star Wars Complete Saga Blu-ray set about that group, which is more watchable than I thought it would be.
My child.
Lies! the incredibly subtle and restrained performance of Forrest Whitaker.
See, this is where I don't know if it's the music or what. It was just so dismal now. Bah, bah, bah.
I like it. I like it. It's odd. When I first saw it, it was a bit jarring for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't match for me. I don't know. Plus the whole tone of the movie, I mean.
Yeah. I mean, Giacchino had like what, a few weeks to score the film. I don't know. It certainly wasn't very long.
Oh, that's right. Desplat. I don't know how you say his name. Desplat.
Displa. I don't know.
Right. He was supposed to do it. He even did didn't he do the trailer score?
I would doubt it. I know that.
I mean, Alexandre.
Yeah.
Desplat.
Well, I know that John Williams didn't do any of the Force Awakens trailers and stuff like that, so I would assume they just got someone else. I don't know. I really
Oh,
don't know.
okay.
Oh, and here's the first ever little tag on the bottom telling us where the planet is.
Oh,
in
right.
a Star Wars film.
Ever? Yeah.
Yep. That's never been done before. I know there's people who are really annoyed about that, and I guess I don't love it, but it's not that big of a deal, really. I think at some points it doesn't show for. I don't know. I'm not sure if they keep consistent for every single new location or not.
I guess I never thought of that.
This gave me flashbacks to like Coruscant, episode 2.
Yeah.
Like that, the underworld. I remember not being too convinced by this actor.
Oh, which one?
The guy who's freaking out.
Mm.
There's a really interesting scene when he shoots him. Because I mean, this is supposed to be one of your hero characters,
Mm-hmm.
and presumably this guy who's freaking out is one of the good guys.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they really blur the lines
Yeah, I mean,
a
is
little
he?
bit later too. What are you gonna say? Does he what?
Well, it's not made clear why he shoots him there, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Is he saving him the getting caught and tortured, or is he trying to save his own skin purely? Who knows?
Yeah, collateral damage, I guess. Um, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Mm. Jeddah.
The music already. See, that's very. I don't know. What is it about a desert that this music totally fits with? It is funny that in the original Star Wars we had white stormtroopers and then the black ones were the pilots. And here it's just like, no, no, no. We have we have all different shapes and sizes.
We don't discriminate.
We've got tan ones.
I don't know if you heard this, but the actor who plays this guy, Bodhi, Riz
Mhm.
Ahmed,
Mhm.
he was so enthusiastic about this that he kept sending the director Gareth Edwards like, oh, so I got this idea for the character, like I could play him like this or this, and just kept just like spamming him with videos, and he just like kind of overdid it. But
That's awesome. I would
yeah.
rather. I mean, you want a guy who wants to be in it.
Well, Bonnie,
Hey, that truck looks very looks kind of like the
uh,
Wookiees. But the Wookiees are
what?
driving on the beach when they're in the fight
Oh
in
yeah,
episode 3.
I was thinking of Aliens.
No, yeah, okay. Little
Yeah.
hybrid then.
Mm. One thing I appreciate is the location stuff they did for this, because I mean that scene in the desert, that would have just been on a stage if Lucas was doing it, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Plus, it's cool to see him like all dirty and hacker. The guy was like leaning, just fucking taking a breather, just all this commuting. It's just
I,
neat to see that. I don't know.
again, it's only my third time watching it, but that when they just blew the door open there and the music was like da-da-da-da-da-da-da, that was very
Mhm.
Star Warsy to me for some reason.
Yes, yes.
He did a good job with the score. It's not an amazing score,
Oh,
but
I love. Yeah,
it really fits in some of the key moments.
I love this guy. He scored Lost, and you know, I'm I'm sold ever since then. He did
I,
Mission Impossible 4, I think,
mm.
through both 3 and 4, and I thought that was pretty good too.
And I like that little da, 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 da,
Mm-hmm.
da. Like it almost does the full theme, but then it takes it down a slightly different, you know.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely.
Nice little touches like that. Yeah, I don't know much about Michael Giacchino, like what he scored, but the one thing I know him from the most is the Inside Out score, which I love.
Oh, right, okay. So this isn't the same place where General Leia is in 7?
No. This is the moon base or whatever from A New Hope.
Okay.
That old guy with the white beard, like I love that his character's in A New Hope, but he's not that big of a character, so you don't inspect the fact that it's a
Yeah,
different actor, you know?
it's like fan service, but it's only fan service if you're really looking for it, right? Just like
Yeah.
some dude, just like
It really fits in, and even just down to like some of just the officers who work in this base, they
mhm.
have like the 70s mustaches and things. Yeah, just little touches like that. They did a good job with that stuff. And do you know the story behind this actress who plays Mon Mothma?
No.
She was cast to play her in Revenge of the Sith 10 years ago. Shot the scene, and then it got cut out of the movie. So
that's cool.
So 11 years later, she got to finally play her and get seen in a film.
Ooh.
It'd be funny if Jin had kind of taken on, you know, because she was brought up by Saul Guerrero. It'd be funny if she'd taken on his way of speaking, you know. Just like she gets pulled in and she's like, lies! Bullshit.
You're all rebels, aren't you? Yes.
This is a rebellion. So I don't know why Edwards didn't step in and say, just tone it down a notch.
Mm-hmm.
At least half a notch. I think Connie, my fiance, said that he was acting well in the face, but the voice just
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the face says reserved, the voice doesn't.
Yeah, I enjoy the fact that like this guy, I forget the actor's name, but I guess he's Mexican. You know, I like the fact that there's a diverse cast, and yeah, you can go in and say maybe they had an agenda with it, but who cares? I think it's just nice for a change, you know.
At a certain point, if the character's strong, who fucking cares
Yeah.
what complexion it is behind the character? Like, honestly,
Jimmy Smits.
that is so awesome to see him too.
And quite a surprise, because I really felt like that Disney were distancing themselves from the prequels quite a bit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's a a very clear link to it.
And they bridge his story quite nicely.
Right, yeah.
Just in case there's any doubts. Ugh. Alan Tudyk's awesome. I'm sorry.
And it's a cool idea to have like an Imperial droid, you know, just to see the logo on the shoulder, you know, adds a bit of color to the.
Yeah, and it's reprogrammed. Like yeah. You can do that. So why not?
I remember being really worried when I saw some set pictures and there's Alan Tudyk running around in a motion capture suit, and I'm like, oh no.
Jar Jar 2.
I was imagining something quite close to it, and I was like, what are they gonna do? But I mean, this works because I mean, something that's all metal is a lot easier to make it look like it fits in. What do you think of Jin's character?
Okay.
Yeah, that seems
not
to be
great, not horrible.
Seems to be quite a bone of contention for a lot of people, is that she's not very memorable as a character, and you know.
I mean,
I'm kind of fine with the fact that she's not that dynamic of a character.
Right.
Especially towards the second half of the film, it becomes more of a team effort. I mean, yeah, she's the driving force behind the connection with her father and everything. But
I was just gonna say, I feel at moments K2 kind of shines, and at moments, Chirrut and what's his face kind of shines. It's like, yeah, I'd rather let them have the spotlight for a little bit. This feels very Star Warsy too. Well, obviously now. Pew, gotcha. Oh boy.
Here we go. Nothing I didn't make a connection to. Yeah, nothing I didn't make a connection to until after I'd seen the film a couple of times was that someone pointed out that Saw Gerrera is kind of like a poor man's Vader, you know, someone who's becoming part machine, you know, and has the respirator and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's just I don't think I can get past the overacting at times with him. It doesn't offend me or anything or ruin my enjoyment, but
No.
it's not a character that I kind of.
At least one person's really acting nicely in this.
This got a laugh in the cinema when he pulls the mask back down. It's like,
really?
Yeah. It's just like this, the way the music it just drops out. It just seemed to get a few chuckles.
Oh, good.
Oh. We both had to say. Oh. And I like that this is kind of new music. It's not da 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 da, da you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's of the same ilk though. It feels.
They even tweaked this too from the trailer shot. Under the plate, there's a lot more going on in there than what was in the trailer shot. I don't know if you noticed that, but I did. Huh? I did.
No, I didn't.
A little more red.
Now this is just a scene I wish I could go back and watch for the first time again. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've watched the Tarkin stuff back. That's the first thing I did,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think it holds up as well as the cinema. Unfortunately, I was just so caught up in it that, you know, under closer inspection at home, you can see around the.
Well,
but it's still impressive though. Don't get me wrong.
That's the trick, isn't it? I remember thinking the same thing at first, thinking, is that a person? Is that half and half? And I mean, if you're at least confused, they did their job. But yeah, the more and more you watch it, the lips just don't act like lips, and
They're just, like this shot right here when he just kind of smirks. I think it's in this scene. That fucking is so good. That is pure Peter Cushing. Like, I can't explain how thrilled I was to see that. And I thought this was it because it was quite a big, well, not a big scene, but it was fairly lengthy. They're talking back and forth, and I thought that was going to be it for Tarkin. You know, they've done the impressive thing, but he's in it for the whole film. You know, we got back to him. I was quite surprised.
Ooh,
and it's yeah, it's so impressive. And as a big fan of Peter Cushing, I thought it was awesome. And that's another thing that came under controversy. People were saying whether it's, you know, the right thing to do to bring an actor back from the dead like that, you know.
Well, I guess that's all on Peter Cushing's estate to decide, right?
It's not like they just decided to put 2 years and however millions of dollars into it, you know, just to see. They obviously talked to the family and stuff.
I mean, if it were me, I would kind of posthumously be honored.
Yeah.
Just having roasting people 20 years from now. Fuck
he was such a nice man. If you see interviews with him and stuff, I could just imagine his reaction being, "Oh, I think it's remarkable." You know, I think he'd probably get a kick out of it.
Right. Perhaps Obi-Wan would be a different story, but you know, that's yeah.
And when that happened, that reveal, when he turned around, I was just like, oh, like I gasped. And Connie sitting next to me like, what is it? And I'm just like, shut up, shut up. I was like, that was Peter Cushing. And she's like, yeah. I was like, he's been dead for like 20 years. What? You didn't see that wasn't real? And she's like, what are you talking about? So I'm gonna tell her later.
It would be interesting to watch this for somebody with no knowledge of just a clean slate. Just how do you perceive this if you don't know? Like, it's kind of like you said, like all that fan service, like that just goes by nothing.
Right. Yeah. I just like seeing shit we haven't seen before, you know, just like a Star Destroyer hovering over a city, you know, never seen that before. Let's put it in a Star Wars film.
Fucking A, man. Yeah. Well, like in the beginning of Force Awakens, when why did I forget his name? When Ben Solo, when he catches the shot in the middle of the air,
yeah,
that was awesome. I was like, oh,
yeah, same thing. Never seen that in a Star Wars film before, so do it. I remember, I think they released a clip of this scene at Celebration last year, and I remember thinking, oh, that's quite a bit more humor oriented than I was expecting. And I was hoping it wouldn't be as comically like Force Awakens had a lot of funny moments in it, and I was hoping this would dial that back a bit. And I think it did.
Which it did.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, when I first saw that clip, I thought, oh, they're gonna go all out with the humor. Now this is an interesting scene. How do you feel about this thing?
I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah. Especially considering we don't really know what effect it had on Bodhi, and it's never really brought up again. And that doesn't look too good. That shot.
It doesn't.
No.
Well, they wasted all that time on making people look like people.
Right. Yeah. See, you can speak at normal volume there.
We're right around, as we film this or react to this, whatever. It's April 7th. We're right around.
Oh, that was Celebration. That droid was in, I think, not the trash compactor, the sandcrawler, I think, in New Hope.
Yeah, he's finding shit now.
Celebration's
going on this weekend, no?
Next weekend. Oh, here we go. Yeah. No. I popped big for that when I first saw it. You know, you better watch yourself.
He's wanted in 12 systems.
You'll be dead. No blasters.
I don't like you
blasters. But yeah, Celebration next week. So a lot more Star Wars news coming.
Better have a trailer in 7 days.
We will.
7 days.
Less. I think it's Thursday they're showing the trailer. So
okay.
And this obviously has quite a bit of a visual similarity to the scenes in Mos Eisley. You know, the stormtroopers and the kind of stone walls and stuff.
Yeah, this I remember in the theater. This is where I really started perking up. Where I was like, all right. I mean, up until now, it's not incredibly invigorating, but this is where I start kind of, you know, Donnie Yen.
Do you know much about kyber crystals?
I know that they're used to make lightsabers.
Yeah, it was just one of those references that, again, I was like, oh, oh.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's so minor, but it was like, wow. And I don't know if it's too much fan service, but you know what they say, they're the guardians of the wills,
Mm.
and that was just like, oh, because that one of the original titles of Star Wars was the Journal of the Wills, the Star Wars saga as told by Anakin Starkiller or something, some ridiculously long title.
Hmm.
And the wills were meant to be these beings that were all powerful, I think, something like that.
So I felt this has a lot more subtext in it than probably anything we've seen in Star Wars, or at least for the last 30 years.
Yeah, I got quite a modern day terrorist vibe from this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely evident. It's quite cool to see, again, just things you haven't seen before in a Star Wars film, like a stormtrooper tank, you know, it's kind of cool.
Yep.
Little mini tank.
And the different angles of things too, you know, looked at as terrorism, but you know, we're on the terrorist side here.
Right, yeah. So going back a little bit, how do you feel about the "you better watch yourself"? Do you think that's too on the nose, or where do you sit on that?
Um, if he could feasibly explain to me how he got from here to Tatooine in what would end up being a couple of days, maybe a week's time, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. He could have been just on his way to a ship.
Sure.
It's not impossible.
I mean, shit, if you want to get crazy, you could explain that there's a stormtrooper here that ends up, you know, holding Princess Leia, and then like just you know.
Well, hey, he's got the death sentence in 12 systems. He's got to keep on the move, man. You know?
Yeah, right.
This was his 12th. We should have had him walking off. Man, this is the 12th system.
Man.
I better watch myself.
I better watch myself.
Another thing they really nailed was clearly putting a lot of time into these alien creature designs for them to only be in the background, you know?
Yeah.
It's
a lot of audio porn too, for the record.
Sure, yeah. I felt like that was a bit too much, the little chicken walker. It was cool the first time, but it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like a, hey, here we go.
I love Donnie Yen in a second. Let them pass in peace.
Oh. Man, she can handle herself.
So awesome.
I read somewhere that oh, that's a great shot. I like the bustling cityscape. I read somewhere someone saying that K2SO was he's far too snarky and you know has too much personality for a droid. I'm like, did you watch the original trilogy?
Yeah. 3PO was like the opposite of the spectrum with his cattiness.
Yeah, exactly. People just try and find anything to moan about, even if it just totally contradicts itself.
Where's Don? Let them pass in peace. In about 2 minutes, I probably get fully erect in the theater. Is he deaf? Love it.
I wonder if when he's at the dinner table, he goes, "Pass the peace." Yeah, this is a great scene.
Oh my God. Oh, I mean, when he uses the stormtrooper, where's it? Here it is. This, holy fuck, are you kidding? It's just too awesome. Then he disposes of him. Oh.
I like his theme as well.
Mm-hmm.
When this guy dead.
Dead. Such an awesome scene.
Yeah, it's one of the highlights.
Mm-hmm. One hostile.
Yeah, I really like those two characters.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You just instantly get a sense that they've been through some shit together. Yeah.
Sure. And they really, hammer it home too towards the end there.
Sure.
Kind of looks like Bane a little bit with that mask. Take control of your city.
You kidding me? I'm blind.
Yeah, I steamrolled a very funny line.
Always got a big laugh. I say always. I saw it twice, mate.
100% of the time, it killed.
Yeah, so if anyone doesn't know the story, the guy who plays is it Baze? The big guy with the long hair. He spoiled the death of Donnie Yen in Rogue One at Celebration last year by just going, "Well, when this guy dead, my character becomes more." Of course, the funny thing is his character dies like 2 seconds after that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say more for seconds.
So I'm just waiting for the Last Jedi panel next week where Daisy Ridley goes, "Well, when Mark dead."
Yeah, we need footage. Like, it's April. Come on. Man, those green chicks must really. There must be a lot of lore for those. Highly sought after.
Yeah, like that guy on the left, like inspecting something, like he's there for like one shot.
Mm-hmm.
It must take quite a lot of, I don't know, restraint to put money into stuff like that.
Yeah,
I mean, that probably took someone like a month or something to put all that together.
You want $27,000 for what? And it's doing what? For how long?
You just buy into it more when stuff like that's there to fill the frame.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, they can name those characters, and you got another 1,000 books to write.
Right, exactly. I have to use a bathroom. Can you carry it for 30 seconds?
Sure.
Okay.
Man, this is unprofessional. Now I know how Brian feels when he got left solo. There was quite a bit of talk about Saw Gerrera here, Forrest Whitaker's character, because he's got this kind of shock hair, whereas in the beginning of the film he had quite a short cut. And in the trailer, you see him with the short hair and then the longer hair. And people are like, oh, they're changing the film. The reshoots are causing this. You know, they're changing the look of characters. You know, after they've made the film, and it's like, no, two timelines. You know, before and after. Yeah, I don't mind his character. You know, it's just the slight overacting kind of takes me out of it a little bit with Forrest Whitaker's performance in this. It's a trap. His face is selling it, but all of it. I mean, I get it. He's gone a bit nuts, you know. I mean, they make a point of that he's gone pretty mental and become this extremist and everything.
Sorry.
That's right.
At least I got to turn the light on. Oh, I missed more.
All of it. So at least his eye works for the character in this case.
Mm-hmm.
If the boot fits.
That is getting into character right there.
Yeah, he's got the Shawn Michaels eye going on.
Oh, I think it's the opposite direction, the Shawn Michaels eye. I need to switch eyes. Method. Just method personified. Cool
Yep.
Angle of a. I don't think I've seen anything shot like that of a planet, globe, what have you.
Reminds me of 2001. That upside down shot of the Death Star always threw me in the trailer. I'm like, what's going on there? Like, why is it up? Why is it upside down? And obviously, it doesn't matter, but you're so used to.
Right. Yeah. If you saw Earth as, you know, Africa on top, you'd like,
yeah. Who decided that? Like, who decided which is the correct way for us to look at the Earth?
Oh yeah, it is weird.
Well, you want to go up north? Oh, it's hot up north. It's so hot up north. We'll get down south, a bit cooler. I thought the guy who played Tarkin did a good job. Obviously, I like that it didn't seem like he was doing an impression. You know, he was just kind of trying to get close to the essence. And I read that he was quite hesitant to do it, but what swayed him was that Peter Cushing kind of got him into acting in a way. So.
Oh yeah, his story is really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so Bodhi the pilot here just seems like, you know, he's just lost his mind, and then after this scene, it's just like, oh, he's back. You know, there's no real explanation. I guess there's no time, you know, but.
Ooh. Sorry.
Oh look, it's Basil Exposition.
Ooh. It's fucking with the signal. Come on. Fix your Wi-Fi.
I think she's great in this scene.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not overdone.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, serious.
No. Considering who she's sharing the screen with.
All right. All right. This is so sad.
I feel like crying. This explains so much.
See, that's what someone does when they cry. They don't just like let the tears roll without blinking. You know, like, I hate that shit sometimes. You have that ugly face.
Yeah. You when you cry, you're far from attractive, right? No.
I'm trying to think what else I've seen her in. It's not much.
It's neat that they're testing and not going full power. It's cute. A little odd, but cute.
Sure, yeah.
Oh. Wait, what?
Wait. What did he say? Play back the entire message.
Did he say where he left his money? Could you put it back?
And that's a pretty, like, borderline horrifying shot there, you know. I find, like, just nuclear weaponry to be fucking bone-chilling.
Oh, I'm infatuated with it.
So when you're in a cinema and you see a shot like that, it's quite overpowering.
And there's more than one, too. There's different levels. Yeah, this is just fuck.
Yeah. When such a huge amount of mass is exploding that it's appearing to move slowly.
Yeah.
Really bad going down.
Pilot.
I don't know. He pointed the gun at the door and he's like, "Oh no!" And then he turns it down and points at the thing. So what was he trying to fuck with him? Like, not aiming at the lock initially. Like, just fuck with this guy. There's a nuclear blast heading in our direction, but I'm just gonna shit him out for a second.
I will run no longer.
I must die dramatically. Go.
Save the dream.
Yeah, it was a swing and a miss for me, I think, on that.
Yeah, what's funny is the first trailer or whatever, when the rebellion's coming undone, that seemed all right. What happened?
What will you become?
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful.
One of the many lines that was in the trailer that's not in the film.
Holy shit. It's beautifully horrific.
I bet George Lucas was just creaming himself during stuff like this. Oh, that's pretty neat.
Oh.
You did that digitally, right?
This is what it's come to, huh? Or was this when I was doing?
Can't do a shot like that with a model. It's all digital.
If only it were more faster, more intense.
Does it have to move so slowly?
Can we have a couple more ships in the background there? Just flying. Just flying. Just perhaps commuting somewhere. Don't need the air.
I like that last frame of that where he kind of braces for it. He's like, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is gonna suck.
See, it's not a complete dud. It's just, yeah, it's just that the voice.
Mm-hmm. Again, back to the score. Like it accentuates the dread a bit. The right pitch of violin, just.
Mm. Now I don't know if that fiery stuff would be that far into the space, but
Right, yeah, right, exactly.
But as J.J. Abrams said in the Force Awakens commentary, this is a science fiction movie, not a science lesson.
Mm-hmm.
It's those moments where he's not speaking, where you just.
I'm telling you, man.
Whenever anyone mentioned the Emperor in this film, I got a little tingle because I was hoping he'd appear,
Mm-hmm.
and I became so bitterly disappointed. But I think it would have been overdoing it. So.
Well, even if it was just like Darth Vader talking to him for a split second, just like on telecoms.
Yeah.
Execute Order 82.
I remember in the mid-90s they were talking about how in the future they'll be able to digitally recreate all these old actors, and we'll get to see Humphrey Bogart in a film again and stuff. And even back then I was kind of questioning it, like, well, would that really work? But I was like, waiting for it to happen. And I guess we're nearing the point where it's possible, but
Mm-hmm.
obviously it's not going to be viable as a kind of main character kind of thing.
So Giacchino did Mission Impossible 3, the Star Trek, all the new ones.
Mm.
Up, Ratatouille, Cloverfield. But not listed in Rogue One. That's the. Jurassic World. Oh, he did the Apes movies.
Oh, nice. Love the Dawn score.
Mm-hmm. Oh, John Carter.
Underrated.
Mm-hmm.
This feels very Star Warsy. You had the big kind of da-da-da, and then they're in space and it's quiet down. We get to some more story stuff.
Mm-hmm. Passive exposition. It's in my head.
Isn't it funny how England looks nothing like Southern California?
Felicity Jones was in The Theory of Everything.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of that I've seen her, and it's substantial enough. I thought she was incredible in that film.
Inferno, that
Yeah, I haven't seen
came out recently. Yeah.
I forget who won the Oscar that year, but I thought she should have won.
Oh yeah.
But I think it was maybe Cate Blanchett.
Was that the year of the
Blue Jasmine?
Did Danish did that win actress? I know she was nominated.
Oh, Alicia Vikander.
Yeah.
That was the year after.
Okay. Yeah, it's
And like any Star Wars film, it's keeping all the pieces moving, you know.
mm-hmm. Edu. It's the dark planet. The rain planet.
It's another conceit, isn't it? That every planet is just one. Well, I guess they're not saying for definite that Tatooine is completely a desert, but I mean it looks like it is.
Right.
So, you know, this planet is this, that planet is that.
Wait till we get to the beach planet.
Never tell me the odds.
That's awesome. Oops.
And I really like Cassian's character because he's got the dilemma here of being told by his boss to kill Galen when he sees him.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously forms a little bit of a bond with Jin, and so got that conflict going on, while already knowing that he killed someone so readily earlier.
Oh, yeah. It kind of doesn't fit. Yeah, you're right.
It's not exactly trying to make you believe that he'll turn heel, so to speak, but it's letting you know that he will do what must be done. You know?
Well, he's got to put Jin over, so
yeah. That's all they need, just over that ridge. So, dude, there's ridges everywhere.
This is the planet made of ridges. The ridge.
And as big of a Star Wars fan as I am, I don't know where Kyber originated from. I remember reading about it in the expanded universe novels, that the Kyber crystal powered the lightsaber.
I know about the Kyber Pass, but go ahead.
Right, and in this film they give you the fact now that the Death Star's laser is
mm-hmm.
founded on Kyber because they have a Kyber mining facility. So.
Seeing rain drip off the water drip off the ship there is unique.
Mm.
This is cool too. See, so that line could have replaced midi-chlorians in episode 1, I feel.
What was the line?
The force moves in darkness around people that want to kill or something like you know, a paraphrased version of, you know, that felt way better to me than
Sure. It's the whole debate, isn't it, that the midi-chlorians made it much more scientific than
I mean,
needed to be.
I'm not complaining one way or another, but I feel like that was a better way of giving us a little bit more about the Force without, you know, getting too crazy about it.
Too technical. It's a mysticism that is interesting, and
yeah, we don't need the story behind everything.
I know, like just think about like the scene of Yoda lifting the X-wing out of the swamp, and they just have like a ticker tape on the screen, like, you know, the midichlorian count going up and up and up.
9,900, 1,101.
Over 20,000. It's more than Master Yoda.
Oh, careful! You're using most of your midichlorian count on this.
The making of Star Wars book is incredible, and reading all of like George's early ideas and stuff. Like, he was so into this lore that he was creating, where he wrote down somewhere like, I could just make a whole movie about the Force. Like, he was so like into it, you know, like he had so many ideas about what it meant. And to him, it was almost like the way he viewed life, like, you know, like his version of belief, you know, just energy and stuff like that. And it was really cool to see how passionate he was about it, and to kind of have it boil down to a count. Didn't really
right
wasn't as palatable as the way it was presented before.
Sure.
And Chirrut is like the closest we have to a Jedi in the film, really.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Vader, you know, but I mean,
oh,
of course.
Oh, don't get me started. Can't wait for that. 38 seconds of just jizz-worthy cinema.
But I like it. It's a happy medium. He's not a Jedi, but he is clearly Force sensitive, and so it gives you enough. That was the one thing I was thinking about, was like, how is a Star Wars movie going to be without Jedi? Because that's like it's the coolest thing. It's the
go. I wasn't strong enough to be a lead in Elysium. Can we go inside? I'd much rather this inside.
Seriously, can we get a canopy over this? It's always bloody raining.
Maybe some just umbrellas. Just please, just something. Sir, when the suit gets wet, it's very heavy.
The Emperor did not counter in umbrellas to the budget. But I also like that the Emperor is mentioned, because I like that in the first film, like the Emperor. It's who's the Emperor, you know? He's that kind of. So it fits with that continuity nicely.
Right.
And Mads Mikkelsen, when he was announced, I think most of us thought, oh, well, he's going to play the bad guy, you know. So, again, against the type that he usually gets cast as. Back and to the left.
Do not forget your dying king.
So what's the message in this scene, CP?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's almost artistic.
Almost, yeah.
No.
I always got so tense watching this scene, probably because it takes place at night.
Well, if the camera was moving, it'd be a lot more tense.
No, it'd just be too much tension. Just...
Night and movement. Oop.
Ah.
Oh yeah, that was a perfect opportunity. What? Shut up.
One of my favorite moments of the whole film's coming up. I remember there was a screenshot of this scene leaked, not leaked, but posted, whatever, of Jin in that gear with the rain and everything, and people took it and put it next to the Rey flashback in the rain, and they're like confirmed, you know.
Oh man,
the fucking level. People will just associate anything loosely linked.
Mm-hmm. There's a bit of a ambiguity. I don't, not entirely sure what's going to happen here.
What do you mean?
As far as Bootleg Elysium, what's his name? Well,
Okay.
because he's supposed to take out
Yeah.
Mads, and I can't process the words. I'm sorry. Explosions. Look, things blowing up.
Well, I guess you see that he doesn't fully believe Jin, that her father is isn't a defector, you know.
Right. Yeah, thank you for
And
completing that
so
thought.
I guess that's his. It's a leap of faith on his part to give her the benefit of the doubt.
But you're still also like, well, could it? Could he?
True. This is a great little scene. It doesn't get talked about as much as, you know, some of the other action scenes, but I quite like it.
And I think it's like the perfect amount of dark too. You can't make some things out, but like that's kind of cool.
Sure.
Like, oh yeah, I guess that's what it would look like if it were dark and raining. Oops.
This is it. This is one of my favorite. I just love this. Just the so badass. Little blowing on the hand, just the you almost went.
What is the noise of a TIE fighter again? Is that the rope, the metal coil?
Oh, I don't know where it comes from in that sense.
That sound is so awesome. And I like when a TIE fighter's being shot down to the
yeah. I like that where she gets blown off the fucking thing because the ship was taken off. Like it's a nice moment of actual physics, but you know.
Yeah, it's a little touch, yeah.
Mm.
Oh. Where is that pink panda bear I had? You know, above my bed?
Did they keep the Stormtrooper doll? Yes, I kept it up my ass for 15
Sweetheart,
years.
You wouldn't happen to have an umbrella, would you? This rain's getting in my eyes. Never play poker with James Bond.
This is a great scene, though. Like,
perfectly
played by both. Like, just not overdone. You know.
I'm so unhappy.
Look how you've grown.
I think I'm dying. Pain.
And it's kind of heartbreaking that she has to just leave his body there. Like, fuck.
Yeah. Well. That's pretty badass.
Yeah, why wasn't he there with his gun earlier on? You know, could have taken out the whole deck in like 10 seconds.
So I know enough to know that what was playing about 5 seconds ago returns. So that's like the general theme of this.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
With the silent tension in this moment, just waiting to bubble over between those two.
Mm-hmm.
You lied to me. Man, you lied.
I know, did you? Did the gun jam?
What?
Orders. Oh.
I like it. I mean, it's not like, you know, Oscar-worthy writing or anything, but I just like the gray areas, because you can understand his point of view.
Mm-hmm.
You can understand hers. They're both kind of right. They're both kind of wrong.
I kind of like that the sexual tension never really, like, it's not there. It doesn't, it doesn't get paid off. There's no, you can have a guy and a girl and just,
yeah. I mean, it's always been there in a Star Wars film, really, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like a princess and a guy like me. No. And then, episode 1, I carved this for you.
I hate sand.
Oh man, this was fucking.
I've been waiting for,
again with the very heavy prequel tie-in.
Mm-hmm.
Mustafa.
It's a shame we don't have those big fucking crawling things. I don't know, lava.
I was losing my shit when I saw this. And I love this. Like, this character here was in the trailer, and everyone's like, "Who's the hooded character?" Is it the Emperor? And got the Royal Guards, and it's just some butler. Like, it's like a troll move. And I remember someone saying maybe it's Vader in a back attack, and I thought, nah, nah. And then holy shit,
visual porn now.
I was not expecting that. Shit. You really don't see as much as it feels like you did in the cinema. I don't know. I feel like the imagination works into it.
So now my theory from before we started kind of gets thrown for a loop here. If this is the first time you see Darth Vader, what does it have the same meaning here?
Right, yeah. And is that the same? Well, I guess it does kind of heavily imply that the guy in the tank is this guy, but
it's a hell of a bigger entrance than I would say 4 or 3. So it's a nice way to introduce him, I guess.
Yeah. This got to me a little bit, like it was kind of moving, because it was the first time hearing Vader again in so long, and I don't feel like Revenge of the Sith counted. Like, I don't write it off, but
is she all right?
Yeah, Padme. No, like, just wasn't. This is Vader, you know.
What happened to all my limbs? Are they all right? Sorry.
But just hearing him in the Vader mode, where he's just talking like Vader, and it's like, shit. I don't know if they like how much they tinkered with the recording, but you really don't hear the age either. I'm guessing that James Earl Jones is in his 80s now.
This is Ben Mendelsohn kind of, if I can blow him any further, he really just knocked out of the park. This reaction right here.
Yeah. He really sells it. Awesome. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I read many a complaint about that.
Oh.
Saying that, you know, is it a bit too cheesy of a line for Vader. Fucking Empire Strikes Back. He kills someone and says, "Apology accepted, Captain Needle." Like,
yeah, people really lose their focus and shit. It's just...
yeah. Yeah, I got lost on track, but the off track, the castle there. I really lost my shit when I saw it in cinema because that is from The Empire Strikes Back, kind of. In The Empire Strikes Back, there was going to be a castle for Vader, and there's lots of concept art in the making of book, and it looks very similar. It was going to be on Hoth or some icy planet, so obviously they put it into the lava planet, but it was the design was very similar. And it's just like,
what's funny, if you think about Vader and Anakin, of all the places where he'd keep his home, the place where he lost most of his wife, his limbs, that's where you stay.
There's theories on that, like, well, you know, it could be that he's put himself there to torture himself with it, or to face his past, or it could be that the Emperor has put him there to kind of keep him, you know, grounded in his pain. I don't know. And I've read that we might see the castle again in other movies. So yeah, I don't know how or why, but it'd be interesting to see a certain other dark character end up at that place.
Rebellions are built on hope. Sorry, I was early.
I really do get just the 70s. I guess it's just the mustaches and like just the background players, you know.
Well, some of the hair too.
And the hair, yeah, right.
Although fish people look nothing like that back in the 70s.
Yeah.
Man, they gotta get on the ball with that.
Yeah.
Really pushing it.
Sadly, they didn't match. What's that guy's name? Radius, I think. The Admiral
his character name?
Yeah, I don't know what the species is. Admiral Akbar's species.
Fish person.
Fish person. Yeah.
Scale head.
Yeah. I used to know because he was in one of the books, but apparently they modeled Radius's face a bit on Churchill. It's interesting.
Me and 13 people want to help.
Again, with the gray area stuff, you know, we've all done terrible things under the guise of fighting the good fight.
You think America's so innocent? Well, the people deliver that line. Sorry.
Because they didn't need to. They didn't need to put that in, you know. if they'd done this straight up and there was no question about whether the rebellion's doing the right thing, I wouldn't have gone, man, I wish they put some kind of, put some moral dilemma into. No, I wouldn't have thought that, but it's nice that it's there.
Right, exactly. No, it does. It adds, it fleshes out a film. It makes it fuller. Makes you, makes us do what we're doing right now, talking about it.
I mean, I find him the most interesting of the new characters, Cassian.
No.
In terms of his arc, it's a bit more of a.
Okay. Thanks, shithead. See, that could have been a.
Yeah, getting a bit close there in each other's space.
Again, focus on the characters. You don't need the stereotypical. It's a him and a her. So, I think of the movie, the most romantic could be Chirrut and I mean, honestly, I'm not saying that there's a romance between them, but they certainly show camaraderie a bit more than. I don't know. Never mind. I'm not implying anybody's gay or straight or anything. I'm just.
I love that moment where she's like, "May the force be with us," and Chirrut's like, "Yes, finally."
Ta-da!
Ah, he said it. He said it.
So,
no, go on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just saying, just imagine like them trying to shoehorn in the title of the movie and the other films. Like, this is Luke. You could say he's A New Hope.
Oh my God, the Empire Strikes Back.
The Empire has stricken back.
It's the return. The return of the Jedi.
Man, that guy's a Phantom Menace. Clones, the attack this is of.
The Sith shall have its revenge. Beach planet.
Entirely. Just islands.
Not me. It does sound very familiar.
Don't believe that.
I could survive in space.
No, I'm sure you wouldn't survive either. Don't believe that. So here's where they've cribbed a little detail from Mel Brooks here with the old shield around the planet with the gate. We need to get through the shield gate. The password is 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's incredible. I have the same security in my luggage. The same I forgot what the line is.
That's the kind of password an idiot would have in his luggage. Change the password on my luggage.
It's an old password, but it checks out.
I was about to clear them.
Did we know Rogue One was Rogue One in Episode 4? Or it was just people who got the plans?
No, it wasn't specified that Rogue One or anything. So no.
When did Rogue One become Rogue One? As far as the timeline of just history.
I really don't know.
The 70s, the 80s, 90s.
I don't know. I
Okay. Okay. All right.
No, yeah. As much as I know,
I'm sorry. I'm trying to push my luck.
Yeah. I think in Empire in the beginning, the battle on Hoth, I remember looks like Ready Rogue 2 or something like
that. Okay. Okay.
That's the only reference I can think of in the original trilogy of Rogue anything.
If you got a shit, do it now.
Again, she does a really good job in this scene, but I can't help but feel like perhaps the scene would play better if she had, blue stripes down her face and was riding back and forth on a horse.
Maybe had some more bass in her voice.
Yeah, just add a bit more of a occasion to the,
She should have taken what should have been subtracted from Forrest Whitaker and just added it here. How would you know what east and west is just dropping in? It goes back to our old discussion about upside down planet.
Just make sure you're positioned behind the tree. That is gorgeous, though. And it's something that when the promotional materials started coming out for this film, it was like, oh yeah, we've never really seen a beach in Star Wars. It's like, what else can they do?
I like to I don't know if that's supposed to be like a rusty bottom or what, but it's just orange and just tattered.
And it was one of the first films to do that, really, the original Star Wars, to introduce the lived-in sci-fi.
Old future.
As opposed to the sci-fi of the 50s and the 60s and
or
early
the
70s. That
Star Wars of the 2000s.
Yeah.
That would be helpful. So is that a Y-wing without a top, or is it still a Y-wing if it doesn't have the?
That's not a Y-wing, no.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
I don't have them.
It's familiar, but I don't know what the Imperial shuttle is. All I know it as, but it's certainly like a in between.
So what's a Y-wing?
A Y-wing is the one that looks like a
Y.
Like
Okay.
A blocky Y. Good luck, little sister. Thanks. We just met yesterday, but
dude, what's your name again?
Oh, it doesn't matter. When this guy dead in 10 minutes, you don't need to remember his name.
The best thing is if you find footage of that, is Alan Tudyk's face just like, no, you're not supposed to be doing this.
I really want to know if he took his pay took a hit on that, something like, or whether they just went, oh, he's Chinese, it's fine, It's not his first language.
What was the line that Y2K2 just Y2K?
I didn't catch it.
She said, quiet. Had to be something snarky, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I won't.
they just nailed it with all this, like, the environment effects they did.
Mm-hmm.
As cool as it is to see real locations, it's nice to see that when they do make it a bit more outlandish in terms of the visuals, it looks great and doesn't look off. And this is a London Underground station, which I've been to.
Is it really?
The story behind this is brilliant. Gareth Edwards, the director, yeah, this is all an underground station, and he was walking through there, and he's like, man, this just would be cool in a sci-fi film. And so he convinced Disney. They went in, like, I don't know, when the place shut down at midnight, dressed the set, shot for a few hours, and then took it all off before it opened again at 5 a.m. or whatever. So
obsolete.
I love that. Just the little, oh, it's about time,
Yeah, it's just like the subtle little touches, man. Like they're soldiers, so gotta complain about something. They're just dudes.
Yeah.
What the? Too awesome. Ever?
Everyone of them.
Gary Oldman in Star Wars, please, can we have that?
Oh,
nice little touch there too.
No.
Little R2 part.
Yeah.
The little Jimmy Jamborino. You would think they'd be like, why does a blind guy have a gun?
Oh, we can't go. Let's go home.
This mission was a failure.
So how do you feel about the idea that Galen Erso specifically put a weakness into the Death Star? Because that's kind of it brings a cool element to the story of this film, but it also feels like kind of retconning a questionable part of the original film, where it's like, why was there a hole? Like,
well,
could you just cover that up as well?
Yes and no, but then why does Empire have a similar fate? Like, you would think. Well, I mean, I guess they wouldn't know what the flaw is. Yeah, no, I'm fine with it.
Oh yeah, I like it. And I mean, it only makes it look a little less stupid in the original, then,
Right, exactly. Sure.
But not like outrageously so. It's not one of those big things. It's just a small detail.
Size of a small wop rat.
Yeah, right. And I like the idea here that, Krennic was kind of behind this whole project, and Tarkin kind of just sweeps in and just kind of fucks him off, and it's kind of fun.
I can kill a bunch of birds with one stone here, can I? He bonked him. Meanwhile, the pizzas, they don't have cheese.
Sorry. Pizza the Hut. Or else pizza is gonna send out for you.
Should we pop in Spaceballs after this?
Oh. Nice dissolve.
We ain't found shit.
We're watching now. What happens then?
Just now.
What happened to then? We just missed it. When? Just now.
Just now.
When will then be now? Soon. Right.
See, that I felt.
Yeah. Didn't like it. It's cool that they're in all the films, R2 and 3PO, but I feel like I can think of like 10 different ways that they could have done it better than that. It just felt a little too, again, hey kids, you know?
Yeah. Shoehorned, like really badly shoehorned with like blood coming over the sides.
Why wouldn't they be on the ship at the end of the film? Have them there, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's where they're supposed to be, and he's just like, oh, they're all going off to Scarif and we're getting left here. Well, clearly they would have to get onto a ship very soon. So
right.
Oh, I don't know. Because as far as this film is concerned, they're not a part of it. You know, they're not a part of the story.
Sure.
The famous thing that George says is that the films are through the perspective of these two lowly characters, which he took from a Kurosawa film, where everything that happens in those 6 films, those droids are there for each part of it. You know, when Luke goes off the Dagobah, R2's there with it. You know, and so on.
Dagobah.
Dagobah.
Last time I was in
I love this shot of the walker coming out of the
through
smoke.
the smoke. Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
All of this right here is pretty fucking incredible. And that thing just screaming out a frantic mess.
Yeah.
That alien lizard head.
Yeah, at that point, it is just pure fan service, isn't it? Because they're not. So.
Yeah, where were they that they just be loaded up like that?
Yeah, like him going, oh, they're all going off to Scarif and leaving us behind. Like, surely the next second would then be going, oh no, we got to go. Oh, this is so good, so good. Using the original footage from Star Wars.
Well, from here out, like you just have to be on board because it's just action packed.
But when I saw it in the cinema, I was like, is that the actual pilots from A New Hope? Like, holy fuck. And then we later found out that it's like some of it's outtakes
footage, right?
Some of it, and one of the guys is still around, so he got to re-record some of the dialogue, which is nice. But it's just one of those tiny things that I guess this is a great shot. I love that. Which, you know, we could just keep repeating that. That's a great shot for the next, 20 minutes.
Oh, sure.
They definitely killed it with this third act.
Nope. Ouch.
That really reminds me of one of the pod races crashing, just the way the separate parts kind of.
Somebody's controlling the Wi-Fi signal. You gotta get a new password.
This is where you get the kind of the Rube Goldberg-esque kind of plot thing where it's just kind of like, you got to go to this thing to get that thing done. Oh no, wait, now we got to get another thing to that clicks into there, and then pull the wire here.
What? I need to get to the top of the building to plug a thing in there. And
it's kind of funny how like the fate of the galaxy rests on him getting a cable stuck around the corner of a box. Just not long enough.
What's funny is a lot of the terminology kind of makes sense now too. Like, oh yeah, sure, you gotta get a hard drive and copy
Right.
the like back then. It was just like, what?
Yeah.
Where's the infamous headshot?
I'm not sure. We definitely wouldn't have missed it because that's another great moment.
Gold-bellied. Here it comes.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Money shot.
I love the look on his face. Like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucking thing still up. They're like, shit. Look. Look. How do you miss that?
Yeah. Look, this guy dead.
But there's like another AT-AT right behind it, though. It's just like,
yeah.
And what is that? I need you to do it.
Man, he's so switched on for someone who, 24 hours earlier had his mind raped. Oh God! I love this. I love the bottom of that kind of viewing sphere.
Yeah,
it's really cool. See, that's a lot of what Star Wars is, isn't it? Just looking at stuff. Oh, cool. That looks nice.
Right. Well, I mean, that's what they say about the opening shots. It's just a spectacle of a giant ship just chasing this little. And this is pretty.
I adore that shot just then, where it felt like a camera was mounted on the top of the X-wing as it's kind of, I'm wondering if those walkers, like, without the belly and so, like, there's a thing missing,
Yeah.
Is it like an incomplete one, or is it a different style of one? I don't know.
No, they're easier to fall like that. That's what
yeah.
those are. This score gets really incredible here.
Yeah, he really nailed the big stuff at the end. It'd be nice if they'd done some, like, the walkers like exploding in stop motion, just like a little nod to the. Like, I just love that Empire, just the.
And this utensil here, what? I mean, please tell me that's an actual thing, and then you build that for this movie. The silver control-y hickey jamborinos.
Hesitation.
There's one.
Oh, that little communication thing with the two
pipes
sticking up.
Yep,
yeah.
I'm right. How are you? I think I butchered the line, actually.
Do a barrel roll. Yeah.
Old footage.
It's such a nice touch. See, that I feel is fan service, but done in the right way, because it doesn't stand out. It blends in with everything else.
The lighting. I mean, most, if not all of this is all of it's CGI. So, the shadows and stuff is just fucking reflections and shit. Just
yeah. I can't tell now watching it at home, but in the cinema, I could kind of see when it was the episode 4 footage. Like, you could
kind
of
see it.
Yeah, just
really.
Like,
I don't think
kind of tell the grain was a little bit different.
Oh, you couldn't see it. Come on.
I'm saying I can't see it now, but blown up. And because I was looking for it, so I was like, "Holy shit, is that stuff?"
You'll be dead.
You better watch yourself.
Oops. Why would you get that close?
I didn't like that line.
You can tell that's old. You can tell that's old footage right there. Later. Ouch. Can we shoot down TIE fighter, please, so I can hear the. Burp, burp, burp. Man, I wish I was a kid right now, just for all the toys and stuff that must be out there.
Sure, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, there's a couple of Easter eggs in the names too. Apparently, black saber is a big deal, right?
Oh, rings a bell, but I'm not.
Oh wow, okay.
All right.
It's coming up. There it is. Black saber is like a big deal.
I know dark saber. That's something, but again, as big of a fan as I am, I'm quite the newbie when it comes to all that expanded universe stuff.
That deep cut stuff.
Yeah. You rebel scum.
Oh. Tan troopers. A little busy. Please tell me that machine exists, please. Oh. Okay, getting jacked up.
It begins.
Tower. Goodbye. Oh, he did a double-fisted slam. Ooh. Very Terminator-ish eyes.
Yeah.
Now the score just gets fucking awesome. Oh, maybe not now.
Music drops out as soon as you say it. This is the best bit.
Again, the look on his face when what?
I'm
such a big fan. Why is the microphone a light?
Why are they not wireless? It's just so well put together. And I don't understand why people made such a big thing about the reshoots. Like, oh, they need to reshoot. Man, they're in trouble. And it's like, every big blockbuster has reshoots, right? Yeah. They all have reshoots.
Now, the music has started. There's very frantic, like when they start climbing, there's a very well put frantic feel to it.
Yeah. I think we're definitely falling into the trap of just watching the film now.
Right. Mouth agape, like,
Yeah. So when you first watched it, what did you think that they were going to do as far as killing the main characters or not killing the main characters?
I thought at least somebody would make it.
Yeah, yeah.
And as much as I felt like, yeah, it's a suicide mission. I mean, I have footage proving that. I was like, yeah, you know what? It wouldn't be surprising if everybody died. I still was like, especially, I mean, I fell in love with shit. K2 was the first one to go. It's just like, man, I really liked him. And of course, we're going to lose another one relatively soon. And that was probably number 2 on my list. And Dennis tapped out once that happened. 5 guys in a ship. Blind guy chooses to go. Oh, Do you realize we were hiding from them a second ago, right? Ah.
Ah. And this is where you wonder, was he really tapping into the Force, or is it just the stormtroopers' legendary bad aiming? Oh wait, he stopped moving very slowly. Now we can aim.
Well, now he knows that somebody else is over there.
I like her look there. She doesn't look like super upset. It's more just like, well, fuck, I gotta keep going. You know, just she stays in that determined mode.
This guy dead. See, like, this is the most, I don't know, romantic. I don't mean romantic in the you know, fucking sense, but
See, that's something I wasn't expecting from Donnie Yen. I mean, I don't think I've seen him in anything apart from this. But I was expecting, you know, cool fight scenes and, you know, not the best acting, but I think he does a really good job in this. I like him a lot. Hey, fuck, I'd be up for a film of those two. I really would.
Oh yeah, definitely. Whoops.
Those are Y-wings.
Oh, okay. Oh, right, they're good guys. X-wing and Y. Stupid.
I think anyway. 90% certain.
I was going with the actual look of the, because it looks like an upside down Y. Those things.
Yeah.
What are you going to see him? What are you looking down for?
Right.
Can you just wave up? Just let me. This is awesome. I have an idea. Where was that idea 20 minutes ago? Nope. Balls. Oh.
See, I even felt that too. Like, you know, it's like, oh shit. Like, even though his character is, you know,
expendable.
Yeah, I guess.
With his gun, you'd think. Yep. Nope.
Man, why has he got it on like the one shot? Get that spread going.
This right here, just
Yeah.
Fuck me running.
And he looks back at his friend in his last moment.
God damn.
Good shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I still stand by this. I think that this is a really good film to show you the sacrifice of war. You know.
Yeah.
It's through the lens of a big, loud sci-fi action movie, but
also like I think I referenced it before. Like the kind of unclearness of the sides of things. So like the terrorism angle and all that shit. This right here is just, I don't know how else to explain it. Just it's just porn. It's just porn.
It is, yeah.
I could have stroked anybody off in the theater who asked at that point. Just, yep, let's all be happy. See, if I said diddle somebody's cooter, I'm a piece of shit. But the other way around, I don't know. It's less offensive that way. I don't know.
It's the way it works.
Big hard drives. 4 megabytes.
Weren't floppy disks like 250 kilobytes or something?
Okay, yeah.
Wow, that holds a lot. It's a
Man,
lot
I
of
need
Word
38,000 discs. Word document. Where was he that he's that behind her?
I mean, there's so much in the trailer. I mean, there's that great shot of him walking across the water with the cape flowing behind him. In fact, there's stuff of Jin and Cassian running along the beaches into the battle. All that stuff in the film.
The audio here, just that's what it sounds like when it gets all torn up. All right.
Well,
of course,
technically, there's no sound in space.
You just beat me to it. Gravity does it quite well, but fuck, I'd rather the science fiction part.
Yeah.
Oh, no, of course, where we are right now, there's the famous closing shot of, I guess, the first trailer, second trailer, where the TIE fighter just kind of, hello. That's nuts. That's nothing.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, who's in the TIE fighter? And well, you'll never know. I think it's worth, or maybe not, bringing up that on one of Kevin Smith's podcasts, his co-host was talking about how Rogue One could end. How close is it going to get to A New Hope? And his co-host Mark Bernardin was like, I think what happens is Jin gets into a TIE fighter and she flies in the Death Star trench run at the end of New Hope and she knocks Vader off course. And Smith was like, oh, dude, oh, that's so good. And I'm like, no, it isn't.
Nope. Oh, classic villain.
Yeah.
Speaking of juxtaposition, music, just oops. Even though we weren't speaking of juxtaposition. Oh, I've got the ad blacker on. Hold on.
Wait, this is Krennic's diary? Shit, man. The progress today was immeasurable.
Padme nude xxx.jpg. What?
Jesus Christ.
Let's just put that on a portable drive for a second.
Former senator dies of a broken heart.
Vader was an inside job. Here's the proof.
Deep Emperor.
It's just a bunch of conspiracy theories about Star Wars universe.
The magic blaster bolt theory.
Was there a second Death Star? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Now, this was definitely the moment where I was like, don't kiss, don't kiss, don't kiss, don't kiss, don't kiss. And this is quite close there. That's right up against each other, but
this is cute. Him looking up. Oops.
Right. Well, the fact that he gets killed by the very thing that
he created, yeah, or yeah.
I mean, literally, he gets hit by the blast, the tip of it.
Yeah.
Like his body would just be dust in like a point of a second.
Yeah, it takes out the top.
Done.
Doink.
And this, when I saw this, I was like, holy fuck, they're not going to be able to get off in time. They're actually
in time.
No, see, I was like, they're actually doing this. They're going to kill off the.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of stroking off the theater. Oh.
Because when
we're almost there.
Because when they were in the elevator there, you know, I thought they're probably going to get onto a ship and, you know, well, we're done with the rebellion, you know, we've done our bit, you know. And then this is the shot where it's like, nope, they're accepting it, you know.
Yeah. Sunset. Oh, wait, that's not a sun.
Nucleus. And a kiss would have just, I don't know, it could have flown, but it would have, you know, it's just so much more.
I like the hug. Well,
yeah.
Like I said, we got more of a experience from Chirrut, and don't know his name. Him dead.
And I like that. I like that it's.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Oh boy. Oh boy.
A party, is that what he calls it?
Oh. So pretty. Again, juxtaposition.
It looks like that whole planet's just islands.
Oh my god.
All right, can't calm yourself. You know,
gonna have to turn the camera off here in a second. Oh man.
Now, here's the thing. Everyone's reaction to this scene is, "Oh my god, this is the most awesome thing ever." When I first saw this, I was horrified. Like it was almost scary. Like it just
almost. This right here. Everything drops out. All the everything. And the cranking.
It's just so intimidating. And when he just starts mowing them down,
it's almost like a horror movie too. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I like how it's still Vader as well. It's still clunkily moving, you know. He's not flinging his arms around. It's very squared and centered and stiff, but still. You know.
Ceiling death has to be the worst.
Yeah, I never noticed that he cuts him in half afterwards.
Yeah, as he passes him over, like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't catch that.
Don't think I didn't forget about you. Oh, poor slob. Nope.
So yeah, whoever was in that suit did a great job of. It felt like Vader, you know, just the body movement and stuff.
Oh, man, too cool.
And I like how it's a variant of his theme. It's not exact. It kind of tails off into its own ending. That's nice.
See, I'm in an internal struggle here.
I love that the sound effects, the little alarm, and the
they match. They basically match. Yeah.
Oh man.
So funny how Carrie Fisher was brought into the forefront about that, and cryptic. I don't.
Yeah, it was quite eerie timing.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had a problem with this ending when I first saw it. It just felt like we went from the emotional death of those main characters, and then within a minute, it's very quick. But
well, how would you have changed it?
I don't want to have the solution. Yeah. But now that I know that it's heading that way, because I was like, oh, it's over. Usually, you're used to more of a cool down before the ending. It's pace, ending. Whereas with Star Wars, you have the celebration or the reflection,
Right. I feel like that's what makes it even more of a part one of sorts, like a companion
piece.
Less its own movie, more of a, I don't know, segue type.
I mean, as much as I love the original trilogy, I don't watch them that often.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll be damned if as soon as we got home from Rogue One, it went on,
Yeah.
It really whets your appetite for the.
Oh yeah, it's, if anything, for 4, it's just like, I need to see 4 now. Well, that was Rogue One. So my internal struggle, which I'll kind of expand on. If on our little science project, this is your first experience into the Star Wars universe, and that's your first bit of Vader, I think it's the best way to have respect for what he can do. You just watch him wipe out what 12 dudes like nothing. Granted, you never see anything like that again, but it helps instill fear, I think.
Yeah,
dude,
definitely.
this guy's crazy powerful.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I don't know, does it take away, because if you go right into 4 and the clunkiness of the fight between him and
So that was
Obi-Wan.
never a problem with for me. Was, I mean, you're looking at again, he's more machine now than man, compared to civilian. Yeah, he'll just wipe you out. But when it comes to fighting another, there you go, with special acknowledgement to Peter Cushing. Yeah, and Obi-Wan's older, it fits for me. It does. And then with Empire, you got, Luke's not very experienced in swordplay and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're more. What's the term I'm thinking of here? The lightsaber duels in the original trilogy are more about the story than the fight.
Oh yeah, the tension between the master and pupil, or do we know that at that point? Wait, I think we do. We knew that Vader and Obi-Wan were master and pupil, right? Did we know
Not
that?
necessarily. No, I guess
Right,
you need to know that he was Anakin, but you do get that line in A New Hope where Vader's like, "It's a presence I've not felt since." Since what? So it's hinted at.
Sorry.
Nice.
Not quite as overt as a. It's just so strange that George Lucas directed 4. What happened? Oh, look at all these names. What is going on? Is this a crowdfunded movie?
It's like the Lord of the Rings extended edition where they credited everyone in the fan club, and so it's like 30 minutes of credits.
What? Did they really?
Yeah. I'm exaggerating. I think it's almost 20 minutes of credits, I think, on those extended cuts.
Man, that's long.
It is, sadly.
Well, not everybody watches them, unfortunately.
Whatsoever.
Oh, 3D conversion. Oh, some people do have the 3D version, huh? There are 3D versions currently available?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, the 3D Blu-ray came out. It wasn't like they saved it like The Force Awakens. But
okay.
as far as the 3D is concerned, I got no interest in that whatsoever. Never gonna watch it. Don't want to. So.
Do you even have a 3D TV? That was the question.
I don't. Well, we used to have a 3D TV, and then it broke,
Okay.
and they replaced it with a non-3D TV because apparently it's getting phased out now. They don't produce 3D TVs anymore.
Yeah, it's already. I think anything that has been released this year is definitely not.
But we got the PSVR because we buy every console obviously, and that has the 3D update. Like about a month ago, it came out with the thing. So I haven't tried it yet. I want to see what it's like because the PSVR, like the quality watching. Not that I watched a film, but if you watch stuff on the headset, it's not as crisp as Blu-ray. Obviously, I think that it's 720-ish the resolution.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
is that all you have to say?
They've implemented 3D into the PSVR. I'm interested to see how it works out, but I've never been a big fan of 3D. It's just oddly enough, I think like the best, well, except maybe Avatar. Seriously, I know we're laughing, but in seriousness, I think one of the better 3D films I've seen is Phantom Menace. And it wasn't because they released that, and they were going to do 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 every year, and then they decided to stop it once Disney bought out Lucasfilm.
Is that the only thing that held it up?
I think so. Yeah, well, I'm assuming that's what put a stop to it. But it wasn't even the special effects; just in like talking scenes in the Phantom Menace, like the depth was really nice. Go figure. They're just. I'm not even. I know what you're thinking. That's a little in joke there, but no, seriously, it was actually quite impressive. But generally, 3D is not for me.
If it's done right, I mean, like you're right, Avatar. There are moments where it's done really nicely, and moments where it's just like, okay, like really. Like I just saw Michael Bay's actually doing Transformers in IMAX 3D, and they're actually doing it native, where they're clunking 2 giant IMAX cameras together to
Jesus
kind
Christ.
of, yeah, for Transformers.
I'm just glad they ain't fucking that 48 frames per second shit didn't catch on when Peter Jackson started doing it.
That looks so funky.
Oh, hated it.
Oh, it was filmed in 70? Is that true?
I don't know.
Interesting. Dolby Atmos. I need, when I finally settle myself and get myself an Atmos system, because
Skywalker sound.
I deserve it, goddammit. 18 seconds, I think we. Come on, Disney, really? Oh, Lucasfilm. We're getting nothing else. All right.
It's kind of funny how it's still called Lucasfilm, even though he's got nothing to do with the company whatsoever.
Well, I guess it's an LTD type thing, right? It's the business name is Lucasfilm, so he sold the business.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think that's the first time I've ever done a stream where we let the whole thing play through. That was unique.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. It says, please insert episode 4. So odd.
Immediately.
That's a TV series joke there. So, final thoughts after third experience of Rogue One?
I love it. It's great. It delivers most of the things I love in Star Wars. It doesn't have the added weight of the Skywalker saga, which is something I'm so invested in, and the Jedi being at the forefront. But that doesn't take anything away from it. It just means I don't prefer it as much as the other ones. But yeah, it's great. I love it. I mean, I can't really fault it. I really can't. It's maximum enjoyment for me.
Wait, so are you saying that 1 through 7 are their own thing, and then Rogue One is 8th on the list for you?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'd say that it's right between the prequels and the originals for me. I think I would go to this more than Revenge of the Sith, I think
I agree.
I think Revenge of the Sith has a bit more going for it, but it's just so depressing. I can't watch it that often because it's so downbeat. But then this film kind of has a pretty, well, maybe not. I mean, the ending is all about the hope, isn't it? Really, and how, again, like I said, the effect of war, the sacrifices of war, and knowing where it goes, and knowing that the deaths you see in this film pay off.
Yeah. I guess if you watch it, 1, 2, 3, 4, Rogue One, 4, 5, 6, there's like an extended period of dreariness, like the depression of the end of 3. This is just miserable. You don't really get happy for a while. That is interesting.
But yeah, I'd never choose it over one of the originals. I much prefer Force Awakens, but yeah, it's right in the middle for me, I guess, roughly.
Yeah, I guess if I'm picking an order at this current moment, it's 5, 7, 4, Rogue One, 6, 3, 1, 2. 5, 7, 4. Yep. 5, 7, 4, Rogue One, 6, 3, 1, 2. Yeah. Yeah, because I Jedi just doesn't, for some reason, just, I don't know.
Yeah, my order would be Empire, probably Force Awakens, Return of the Jedi, Star Wars, Rogue One, Phantom Menace, Sith, Clones.
Phantom Menace ahead of Sith, really?
And I'm sure I've told you that before, and you had the same reaction.
Okay, yeah, my brain's
but it's more enjoyable for me to watch, and again, it's an odd choice, an odd reason, but just the fact it was shot on film, it has the most practical elements of the prequels. It just feels a bit more in line with everything. But yeah, Sith is a much better film without question. But I'd watch Phantom Menace more, I think.
I like Darth Maul. I really like Darth Maul. I just wish he was the villain for the first 3.
He's cool. He's cool.
He's more than cool. All right, so I guess we don't really. This is kind of, well, just say goodbye in your own little way, Luke.
Goodbye in my own little way.
Yeah. We're done.
Yeah, it's been fun. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And,
I'm one with the Force. The Force is. I screwed the line up.